What up, guys? This is your boy Chris here with Marc, Barrett, and Marco, and this is your eSports update in the Daily Grind.
Yeah! What's going on, guys?
Alright, guys, so first off, first order of business, we shall say, is this. Yesterday and today, we've had the MLG Season 1 playoffs for AEW. And I gotta say, we've seen some major upsets. In fact, yesterday, 3 of the 4 first-round wins came from the lower-seeded team. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I missed freaking TK versus Prof, which pissed me off.
You didn't miss too much.
Yeah. I got to see Envy take out Denial. Wait, that's what happened. Yeah, Envy. I got to see Envy take out Denial, which was freaking crazy. It's traded teams. I guess like Denial had some people from Envy in it or something like that.
Yep. We saw a 50-50 change basically.
Yeah. And
let's talk about that later in the stream.
Envy went 3-1 on Denial, which was not expecting. I thought Denial was going to take that.
No, actually, I would have gone for Denial for that win.
I think my personal biggest upset yesterday had to be Aware over FaZe. Now that said, I know this is Aware's champs because they're all underage players. They can't go to champs. But the reason I see this as such a huge upset is you have a team that's contending for the top 2 in the world right now with Enable, Slasher, Aches, and Parasite. If that team can't even beat Aware, that's kind of a problem.
I gotta give it up to Aware.
Marc.
Yeah, didn't they trade over some of their members to Justice?
Regardless, though, you have a team with the most winningest player of all time, the GOAT, if you will, greatest of all time.
And the veterans. FaZe's veterans compared to Aware.
Enable had the second highest, KD over anyone in the AW Season 1.
Well, I think Aware is just setting up the stage for the next generation of pro players.
Yeah, a player to watch, I think, would be Huke. Huke was freaking going crazy today.
That being said, they didn't really get much out of the trade, though, that they had with FaZe. They kind of just looted up FaZe for an Enable, honestly. And I don't see that team going very far at champs, as of right now.
What, Aware?
No, FaZe. That being said, they are up right now, I believe, in the series against Envy, but we'll get to that later. 2-1, yep. So... Alright, next up, let's go ahead right straight from FaZe. Let's talk about the root of the problem. Yesterday, Aches did not do well at all.
He played like shit.
I haven't seen him show up since Orlando. Not even Orlando, Columbus. He played awful at Columbus. No.
Honestly, I might as well play a 3-man squad.
But how? Yeah, he did.
It's all right, man. It's well appreciated $20.
Yeah, it was. I paid for parking now. I don't care.
But
how well has FaZe been doing when it comes to like LAN?
They haven't won anything. Did they even get top 8 at Orlando? I don't think so.
No, they lost to TK in Orlando.
Yeah,
I think that was a top 8 spot.
They didn't make top 8.
I think TK took 6 in that. No. I don't remember Orlando anymore.
7th or 8th.
Yeah, one of those.
I mean, this guy is supposed to be the best Call of Duty player on the planet, and he's doing awful. Aches.
Well, at one point maybe he was, but that's why I'm saying
about to go with Crimson. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Which is why I'm saying that Aware is going to set up the stage for the next pro players.
Yeah, they're definitely the next generation of pro players, but to be like I said, Huke is one of the players to watch right now.
But with Sender moving to Rise Nation, though, can you still put up that argument? Yeah. Sender led their team in KD throughout Season 1.
Rise has Pac-Man.
Pac-Man's awful.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty much, he cancels out any good thing that comes to Rise.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, what about Stunner? Do you think I could personally see these players moving back to Stunner afterwards?
Well, Stunner, all their players are unaware.
Yeah, there's gonna be a trade-off between Aware and Stunner. There's gonna be more
probably
of that.
I know. One of the original Stunner members, Stunner Cole, is supposed to be having a new team coming up soon.
Consisting of me.
Yeah, consisting of Marco apparently. So you know they're not going to win anything ever.
Oh god.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Okay. Are we moving? Are we against that? All right. Next, we'll go ahead because there's two of our topics put into one account. Let's talk about last night, Denial versus Envy. Headline match, latest match of the night. That was what everyone was waiting for.
Well, I can't really comment on that. I didn't watch it, so.
All right. Well, we saw
this conversation up to you guys.
We saw Denial take game one astonishingly. It wasn't even close in the hard point on Solar. It was a beatdown.
Denial stomped on. Well, we're talking Envy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Denial stomped on Envy in hard point, and then
how did Attach do?
Well, Attach has always been the big player for them. If Attach is going off, then the entire team's doing well. But if not, we have some issues there.
Yeah, because today he did a really good game. I think today he was the MVP of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's always hit or miss, especially online. But LAN, he's been doing so well, and I think getting paired up with players like JCap and Clayster, that should help him a bit since they are veterans. Both of them have been around since Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Clayster stacking up those IMR kills.
So after that hard point, though, we saw it all go Envy's way. I mean, guys could not get kills if they had an RPG on their back. I mean,
Envy was freaking mopping the floor with Denial. They lost the first one and then came back and just went ham on people.
We have to talk about Saints because Zuma hasn't done too much on Envy, whereas Saints, especially in today against TK,
oh my god,
showed how he plays. Especially on LAN.
Thought Zuma was good at freaking S&D.
Zuma is quite the sniper.
He was getting taken out every time against TK today.
He had a few good shots with those snipers.
He did, but
and Replays was also counteracting a lot of them.
Yeah, they went 6-1. TK went 6-1 on on the first.
Yeah, on
one time that one round that they lost, it was because Zuma decided that he was going to start getting snipes across the map.
Yeah.
So I mean that's another thing. If you're going to make an A push, you better go quickly and stay low, or else Zuma is going to take your head off.
Oh yeah. Always stay around the edge.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Zuma. Yeah, that's the big story behind this because we saw Zuma and Saints go on the ESR and basically claim, "Listen, we're staying here. Dylan's not going. Dylan is attached for Marc since he doesn't follow because he's not smart." We saw them go on the ESR and say, "Listen, we're not trading Dylan. We want to keep him on our team." 2 days later, they trade themselves to Envy. JCap and Clayster had no idea they were on Denial.
Wow. Holy shit. But then you had Zuma. You remember Zuma from during Orlando, the whole entire TK thing with the uplink ball?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't remember that, Marc. No, that was at Orlando when we were in Oakland.
Yeah.
TK versus Denial. Remember the whole entire thing about the dunking and not dunking?
Yeah. There's a reason his Twitter handle is Tommy 2 times.
Yeah. And then I want to talk about TK. I know Marc does too.
Well, before that, I think that whatever the game registers as the points. That's what we should go off, not what you see. Definitely. Because then if I could just say, "Oh, I shot that guy," but
like especially with that glitch, how often is a glitch like? I've never seen a glitch like that ever.
That's never happened to me either. So
I've never seen it.
In my opinion, that should have been.
I think that he accidentally clicked the button and threw the ball.
Accidentally clicked the button,
and that was what happened. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen times though, and especially in the COD Champs qualifier on the Sunday when all the crazy teams were getting in, like Revenge and stuff. We saw guys go up and get shot by like guys like Dito.
Yeah.
You go up above the uplink, have the ball in hand, get shot, the ball drops in, they get a 1-point score.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
If you get shot before you make a dunk while you're over your ball.
But then the argument is, though, especially because, I mean, let's be honest, we've all tried to troll a bit of people online, and, like, we try to throw the uplink into our own goal and stuff.
Never.
I would never. But yeah, I see your point.
I mean, if so, doesn't the ball technically have to be thrown in?
It has to be either thrown in, or if you're going in for a dunk, or if you miss the dunk and get shot before you make the dunk, then it counts as one. It counts as a throw. Most times. Yeah, they really should have.
Another thing that we need to look into in terms of that when we're on the uplink ball, there's some spots on maps such as comeback, especially in the middle, through the middle part, you know, and right where the control panel is. If you throw it, trying to defend yourself, throw it, try to shoot someone, the ball will get stuck in a glitch. I watched too many matches, that's why.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, it's all part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to play around it.
I mean...
Yeah, but it's part of the game. And it's until it's fixed, then you can't really say much about it.
Do we have an update on the MV phase score, by the way?
Phase 1.
Okay, phase...
Yes.
Okay, good, because I hate envy. Sorry, Renato, I just don't like you.
Let's go into today. I missed the FaZe versus Rise Nation today.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Yes. Of course, sir.
No, Rise took the SND, which was surprising enough in itself. Chino and Sender pretty much show them that, hey, we're here to stick around. We're still pros. Whereas Pac-Man stepped up. He got a quick scope right into a guy's face. I
heard he did a no. He had a no scope as well.
Yes.
He had like freaking quick scopes and no scopes on people. Yeah.
He put a bullet right into, I believe it was Nameless's face. His face.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Nameless, because you are bad, because you are on envy. Next up, okay, let's see where we were going. Let's go.
Then it's Denial.
Denial versus Prophecy.
All right, let's talk about.
That was a really good game. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
All right. Denial versus Prof. I mean, but by the way, the uplink that was game 4 between Rise Nation and FaZe actually came down to the last minute because at one point, within a minute and a half left, Rise had the lead, up 8-7.
And they freaking blew it.
Yep. And it wasn't Pac-Man that blew it, by the way. So, I mean, at one point, Pac-Man was the only person alive in the base trying to defend.
What I know is that, okay, so Denial 3-1's Prophecy.
Denial, I believe, I thought they had 3-0 Prof. Did they not?
No, they
3-1. They 3-1.
Okay.
I think Prophecy's
out.
Yeah, they're out, but...
Yeah.
Who took map 1? I think it was...
Denial. They dominated 100 point. Attach went 42 and 26.
Yes, if you have Attach getting kills inside the hard point, you're not going to win.
Like, that hard point game that they put on scared the shit out of. Like, they went absolutely mad and just slayed all around.
When he's winning his one-on-ones, you're not going to beat him.
He went all out, back crazy.
Yeah.
And he was basically the MVP of that match. The Clayster also with that IMR, it's just crazy. You don't really see any other guns besides the BAL or the ASM1.
ASM1.
So mostly by Clayster.
Parasite
IMR has a huge amount of damage.
Parasite's been running the AK a lot.
And I saw that the AK coming out.
What? Nope. The IMR has a huge amount of damage compared to the BAL, and the range is just as good.
But here's the thing though, it works on LAN. Problem is, see it used online, only the host is gonna be able to use it correctly.
Yeah.
So it's still a shaky gun. And honestly, I think a lot of it's placebo effect.
Yeah, the problem with Prophecy's game is I saw that Embos was switching roles a lot. So I think that if you focused only on one role, that they would have been able to take a couple more of those maps.
He's a player that will go out there and try to focus on what he's doing, but sometimes it gets away from the team.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, he should stay on either stay on an objective or stay on slaying. But I feel like he was moving out too much. Yeah.
But Prophecy or map 3, Prophecy came back and they took that. Only to freaking get dominated by Denial.
They got second. No, Stunner got second. They got third. That's right.
Stunner lost to Optic and was it Uplink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got 10 uplinks in 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yeah, that was just crazy.
Dominated Stunner and Uplink. Stunner looked like they were gonna take Optic until that Uplink. Then it was just no.
Hey, I mean, we had our struggles last year. It's about time that we got some stuff going. I mean,
all right. What was the second map for Denial against Prof? Was it Search and Destroy?
Yeah,
it was
Search and Destroy.
Terrace.
Terrace. Yeah, and I saw a lot of sniping from there. It was basically a sniper dominant map. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good sniping, especially on each spawn by that stairs. You got like freaking good look to be able to hit any one of those people.
And they have some of the best snipers. Denial has some of the best snipers on their team. They have
Replays is probably the best sniper in the game, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Denial actually had the highest KD in Season 1 of that, so I'm not really surprised.
Before we go to the second one, which I think was the biggest one, was TK's fucking comeback.
Well, I still want to talk about one more thing.
I want us to kind of slow into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the commercial break. I know you're very, very excited.
That's what I was gonna say. Let's talk about that after a commercial break.
But let's finish off with Prophecy. I saw in their capture the flag game that they were really good at running those routes. I think it was Ricky that he kept on getting really good routes.
Holy shit! Ricky ran a beautiful route through snow and freaking capped it.
But see, this brings up my next argument. What's your opinion on Biolab? Because see, here's my problem. Ricky was able to get some of those because of the fact that these spawn traps are kind of ridiculous on this map. They're inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree.
Leave it to the Optic fanboy.
Like I said, it's part of the game. So it's part of the game. So there's nothing much we can do about it. All you have to do is play with it, and you have to make the best out of it. Because everybody gets those really bad spawns at one point. So it's in my opinion, it's pretty matched up. You just got to do your best with what you get. And yeah,
I will say that I think it's ridiculous that the pros are kind of calling to take away CTF. I mean,
CTF. But then what are they going to replace it with?
Nah,
I don't really see
another hardpoint maybe.
I don't really see momentum being.
I would.
But momentum could be over within 10 seconds.
Exactly.
I was playing momentum while I was trying to go for the #1 spot of momentum. I was literally just freaking capping points and ending the game in less than a minute.
But see, that's playing in pubs. Think about it in more of a competitive.
All it takes is for if they spawn trap the opponent. All it's gonna take is for them to just hop on those momentums, and as long as their momentum is up, they'll get rid of the other team's momentum.
Yeah, but I'm sure that these games could go one of it two ways. It could go really fast or really, really slow.
Really slow, yes, yeah.
So I'd see it as being a really good competitive map, a competitive game mode.
All right, guys. Well, we gotta hit a commercial break. You can tell Marc over there in the corner is like dying for a donut, so we gotta come back. We'll be back in like a minute and a half.
And Ambos misses the reset, the drone reset. Oh my god, that was the stupidest play of the match.
All right,
he is biggest down
and more coming up. All right, guys. Want to welcome you back to the stream. Our buddy Jerrick here is probably taking a deuce, so he may be a minute. It's a shame because we're talking about TK.
But we love him.
No KFC.
Alright.
It's alright, Jerrick.
Yeah.
You're still cool.
Alright.
So we're gonna get to, what is it, 2 teams?
Whoops. Sorry, guys.
Oh, he's back. Alright.
Oh, there. So, I see him. I see him.
Right,
there you go. He was getting a Red Bull.
Back into the TK news. No, I'm joking, man. Alright, so we're gonna go over
we would have started with that, too.
Which you guys see the breaking news right there. But yeah, Chris, you want to go over that right now?
The where game?
Yeah, the Brazilian teams.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Okay. Well, guys, next topic here. We're talking about during the online qualifiers for the Brazilian. Quit laughing, fatty.
Oh, why would you do that all day, man?
All right. Well, next we're talking about is this. In the Brazilian tournament, we shall call it. That's what it's called, I guess. But from there, you had 8 teams qualify for the LAN out of the entire country, and it's only Brazil that gets to compete. Quit laughing, Patty. I can see you jiggle. All right, so it's hard to keep a straight face. Screw you. Just all right. So, as I have the crappiest mic here,
We still love you, though.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone knows that the age limit for the COD Champs qualifier is 18. If you're not 18 before a certain date, you can't compete.
That's why you get a fake
However,
yeah, I'm totally sure that will work.
However,
I was about to do that. Just for because you know.
Okay. However,
yeah, anyways, go ahead,
I'm
Chris.
trying to continue. 2 out of the 8 teams decided that they're going to compete anyway. Each team had 1 or more members under the age of 18. One was actually 15, as I found out.
Oh god, that's a big difference, kind of.
Showed up to the LAN, got told, "Listen, you can't play." So it actually messed up the bracket a lot because your number 1 seeded team, instead of they were number 1 at going into it, and it kind of got screwed over. See, they got screwed over though because although they should have gotten the first round bye because 2 teams are gonna have to play to get in, right? They were actually one of the teams that had to play and ended up winning the whole way through anyways. By the way, I watched. They did not scream "goal" every time they got a goal in uplink. Just so you know.
Really?
I was disappointed.
That's totally not racist.
It was disappointing. Admit it. You guys would have loved it.
I mean,
goal.
Yeah, no, it's like every Brazilian does, you know.
Did any of the teams lose by 7 points?
Stop it.
Hat trick.
Well, 2 of y'all are Germans anyway, so what does that matter?
Hey, fuck you.
Actually, no, I actually have a bit of German in me. Never mind.
I have like 5%, maybe like 0.5.
Okay, I have more than him because I have
Fuck,
I have like 33%, so I'm more than him.
No, you were not born.
I was
in
born
Germany.
here.
You were
What's
born
up?
in
If you say Africa, I'm gonna slap it at the YouTube destruction.
But see, if you slap him, it'll just ripple across and it'll make me laugh.
But,
You guys are terrible.
I know, right?
You guys are terrible.
And yeah, you get what else parts do we need to go over? Chris, with
Did we already talk about today?
Regional predictions, who's gonna go far as this?
Yeah, Chris. What do you think?
Okay, let's see. Let me pull up.
What does Chris think about this?
Did you actually
Did you make your own bracket?
Like,
Or are you talking about COD champs or
no? Like what is it? The championships right now.
Oh, as of right now,
Yeah, I'll do COD.
I see this. I obviously have Optic in my finals, which means I see them beating TK now.
Do you have FaZe?
No, I do not have FaZe in my finals.
I don't see FaZe there either.
So I'm saying tomorrow TK is going to be beat by Optic. However,
TK 3-0's Optic.
However, I will say this though. I do believe that TK will be able to get back into the championship from the losers bracket, and I think they'll take it to. I'm gonna say.
Are they gonna pull an Optic?
But aren't they guaranteed a top 3 spot either way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So aren't they automatically already in?
Yeah, basically. But all my predictions up to this point have been right. So I'm gonna go and continue this. So quit distracting me. But what I was saying is this: I do believe that it's gonna go to a second series, but I think Optic's gonna win that second series 3-1.
Against who?
I feel like TK is gonna win the search and destroy rounds.
Exactly what.
TK's more into S&D and all that.
Okay, so basically here's how it's gonna go, right? If it's a Biolab uplink tomorrow, which it could possibly be, what'll happen is TK showed their dominance in uplink, and it's gonna be hard to beat them because that's Biolab's Optics worst map.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they'll be able to take 2 of the SNDs and a possible uplink. However, obviously it's gonna be different maps for the next series. And I think Optic's probably going to be, especially Crimbot, because when is Crimbot not pissed off? I think they're going to get fired up, pissed off. I see Scumpy dropping a 40 bomb in the hard point. I see
Scumpy?
Yeah.
Why not Crim?
That's what I'm going to get to it.
I see or Formal.
I see Crim and Formal both dropping double digits in the second SND because they're mad. And I predicted it was going to be, I'm going to guess Terrace S&D, honestly. And then I think TK is going to take the CTF. But then I think Optic's maybe end up being comeback uplink, and I think Optic may be able to take that comeback uplink.
So you say TK is going to take capture the flag?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Optic does pretty well at CTF, even though they talk shit about how much they.
But in a desperation map. Especially if it's retreat. If it's retreat.
I'm gonna say 3-1 TK.
No, I don't think
Optic taking CTF.
I don't see anyone. If it's a send CTF, Optic take the CTF. But if it's retreat or Biolab, I think TK could take it.
Well, Optic did pretty well at Biolab and CTF. Yeah.
They're probably the best.
Chicago versus Atlanta, boys.
Did we already talk about today?
Yeah.
Not the TK match versus Envy.
We're gonna do that way last, cause we're gonna.
Did we wait? What else today did we talk about? Did we talk about
We're all okay. Let's talk about everything that happened today, then we'll go on to it. Because we don't want to do it
today, guys.
Let's finish up with the today stuff, then we'll move on to COD champs.
Okay.
So
TK versus Envy. That was a great match.
Oh, team shoutouts. Did we do that?
No, we'll do that at the end of the thing.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we may as well go and finish up.
Yeah,
Can we just talk about this already?
Yeah, so
I'm dying to talk about this. I know Barrett's dying to talk about this.
TK versus Envy was a bigger match, obviously. So we'll do that. We'll talk about Aware versus Optic first, and move on to that because that was a huge moment. I think that deserves to be last.
Yeah.
They're trying,
but
there's not. Like,
no, because see, I want to bring up this. I want to bring up Formal's performance in that hard point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that wasn't one of the most dominant.
2.0 KD, yeah.
He dominated in the hard point. What was it? He was already at like 20 something and 9. Like in the first few minutes, like the first minute or so.
The only reason this man didn't hit 60 kills is because they hit 250.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Almost he was going for it.
I mean, and if you notice, every time too, it's a good thing that Mr. X brought up. His captures and his defense are freaking low.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Yeah.
Especially if you watch on that middle hard point, especially when he's up top on glass, he's gonna slay out with that bow and watch glass side and watch yellow catwalk. He doesn't even have to get in the hill. He will have 0 captures and get 60 kills. That's all you need him to do. It doesn't get any better.
A hard point match is mostly decided by the kills you get off the hard point while you're rotating, because that will get your team an advantage into the next hard point, and that will give you those extra seconds that you need to win that.
And especially on a map like Solar, when you're having to go from warehouse all the way to parking lot, that's such a huge rotation. If you get cut off there trying to take scrap time, that scrap time's not worth it, because for 5 seconds you're losing an entire minute.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I'll let Barrick bring up MV versus TK now.
No. I still want to go on the Aware, because Aware, we still got Aware taking S&D.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think they did a pretty good job with S&D, taking that over. But then the capture flag, Optic came back with that capture flag and just freaking dominated on them. What I liked about the Aware and Optic game was that Aware could have taken Uplink. They had the chance. They came back. Then they botched it. They let Optic spawn trap them. And that's when Scump came down and just started raining. Yeah, just destroyed them. And that is pretty, yeah. Like I said, up and coming player to watch to me would be Hugh, 16-year-old, but he was slaying a lot too, doing a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job in hardpoint, a decent job in S&D. Well, he did a good job in S&D as well. Like he killed Optic a lot of times with S&D, and then Uplink was a bit iffy. He was a bit iffy because he was getting some kills, but they weren't dominating glass, and that's where they were fucking up. Was when the Optic came and took glass and having them spawn up by green, it was game over.
True.
All right. You want to get into TK stuff? Yeah.
Yes.
Ahead,
yes.
Jerrick.
Oh my God, dude. I want to talk about that 6-1 on S&D.
Oh yeah, that was
Envy.
TK dominates S&D.
Looney MVP of the day.
I saw that.
Definitely
That was
agree with that.
crazy.
I mean, especially when he just came over. They threw the ball into the base. You thought, okay, maybe they'll just reset it. He fought his way through.
And freaking stuck. They were down, what was it, 6-14, down 8. They had to freaking get it up there. They started back-to-back with freaking triple ducks on Optic, on Envy.
Yeah.
And then to the first half of the freaking overtime, it was they weren't scoring for a long time. It would have been pretty bad to score at that time as well, because then it would have gave Envy all that time to score. And I think Envy could have actually done it if TK would have given them a chance. Envy probably could have came back, and that would have been done, over with.
And they actually did. They had a lot of chances to score, but they just had little mistakes that was stopping them from making those really crucial points that they needed to win. So
dominating glass.
Yes, definitely.
If you notice these games, and it's not good to see when your leader is falling behind, but they've still managed to fight back, because Sharp's been kind of having a hard time staying positive this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see him going more for the objective and not much for the kills.
But I mean,
I feel like
if Theory's your objective player, then you can't have two guys playing that role.
True.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying
Looney pretty much, he did an amazing job today.
Yeah, he was
And-
probably the top one today.
And
Looney doesn't miss.
Goonjar online and Goonjar on LAN is two different players.
Mm-hmm. Ping Jar. This dude. He played pretty well as well. I don't remember any epic plays that much from Goonjar. I remember some great plays from Theory and some amazing plays from Looney today.
There was There was one actually really good one with Gunjar and Looney. It was in Detroit. I don't remember what happened, but I remember it was a really good play.
Did you write it down?
No, I did not.
Mr. Everything else written down.
I was too concentrated in the amazing match they were having to finish off my notes on that.
Usually I'm not a TK fan, but that was crazy.
It was just a very mind-blowing game.
Was about to give me a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
The only bad comment I have written down about TK on here is their hardpoint game. They definitely need to work on those rotation fights. Like I said, those rotation kills are the ones that win you those games, because that's what helps you get those crucial seconds that you need to win and to stay on the hill a longer time. And just I didn't know what to say. It was amazing.
Twitter blew up.
Yeah, and TK we were trending.
Oh my gosh. You don't see that.
Even while Optic was playing, TK was still trending.
It was still trending. So take that, Optic fanboys. Ha!
Oh my god! I saw that. Just you couldn't see anything. Those people were going crazy in the MLG chat. It was.
Well, it's 51,000 people.
Series.
Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, best game of the day. Hands down.
It was mind-blowing search and destroy game for them. Theory with the clutch. And
that clutch was.
Yeah.
One thing I'd want to touch on though.
Yeah.
After such a excruciating loss, where does Envy go from now on? Because we saw they just lost to FaZe in a 3-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does this team? They have to play in champs together, but does this team make top 8 at champs?
They do not. They will not.
This should be their last year. They should just stick to CS:GO.
You know they actually just bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bought a CS:GO team.
Yeah. They just bought that team.
That's the thing. They're, I don't want to get into CS:GO, but it's kind of better if you want to say. But
yeah.
See, Envy
back to the main question.
Glacier.
Back to the main question. Do they place top 8?
No, they do not.
I'm gonna go with no. I don't see them.
If they're paired up against teams such as the Brazilian team, T1 Mind Freaks, or Mind Freaks.
Yeah, that.
Do they beat another team from another region?
It really depends.
It all depends on. They're gonna take this loss from this game, and they can definitely come back strong. I mean, Zuma's a freaking amazing player.
Like champs isn't that far away, so
yeah.
So they need to grind it out.
They might learn from their mistakes, but I think they might.
Yeah, they need to take this loss, see replays, see what they missed, and see what they can improve on, and just come back and forget about what happened in the past and just go on from there with what they've learned, and they could possibly actually make top 8.
I think so too.
I mean, my opinion on it is this. If a team that has such good slaying power in the likes of Saints and Zuma is struggling, do they stick together after season 2? Because they made it through since they're made it to the playoffs now, they don't have to go to the relegation, so they're sticking together, at least through champs. But do they stick together through season 2? Do they trade someone again?
I think that this team, they need more of a variation.
If they start trading teams, I think if they start trading players and stuff like that, I think that's gonna screw them in the long run, because then that's less time to get to know other players that they probably haven't played with before. I would say don't trade. I would say go into champs with everything they got and hope for the best, and maybe they could probably get top 8. I'm sure. I'm iffy.
I disagree with that. I think that if they get one more good player in there that varies from all those slayers that they have in there, they need either somebody that could play really good objective or someone that could support them and getting that objective.
I mean, if you look at it right now, who's their OBJ? Nameless, maybe? That's a stretch, honestly.
Do they really have a designated OBJ?
I mean, you kind of see, like I said, you kind of see Nameless do it. But
it's you see very little of that. That's what I'm saying. This game,
they run 2 supports.
it's based on that objective. That's why I think that the Slayers aren't really that much of importance. They are important, but not that much important when it comes to these objective games like Search and Destroy or something like Uplink.
I would argue nowadays that Search and Destroy is less about objective. Yeah, you have a guy who comes and gets the bomb down. If he gets killed, then you're kind of out of luck there. But in terms of that, a lot of it is bait and switch, or just trading kills.
I disagree. I think this game is based on how well you do that objective.
I believe Uplink is OBJ. I believe that Hardpoint's OBJ.
Obviously, we need to score points in Uplink in order to win. So yeah, but something like Search and Destroy, it's always that win that counts. So if let's say you get this plant, and somebody goes out and decides to just go and kill people, but they don't get to the bomb back in time in order to defuse it. So what good did killing all those people do if you never got to run that objective by defusing the bomb? Yeah.
All right. Okay. I know we're kind of saying no to trading, but if you had
I'm saying yes. I'm saying one person at least.
All right. Let's go. And I was going to say let's do this. Everyone give the one player you trade away and the one player you bring in.
I haven't paid attention to Envy.
I'd say I'd trade in Nameless, and I'd bring Clayster back.
I've never paid attention to Envy at all, so I really don't have a say in this.
Keep in mind that Marc is now the captain, and he's someone who, if you're not doing well for him, get out.
Yeah, that's why I think Clayster should go back to that team. He would really help them out. And I think maybe if you get somebody like a really good Slayer on there, so that yeah, they wish.
Yeah, right.
That team needs one really good Slayer, one really good objective, and then the other two teams that could help out with either the objective or helping slay out. And then that team would be more balanced instead of having all these Slayers on there, which doesn't help them at all when it comes to this.
Well, if you look at COD right now, some of the top Slayers are, I think all of them are in freaking Optic right now.
Oh,
they got Scump, they got Crimsic, they got Formal. Formal went just nuts today.
Yeah, and even with having all those Slayers, they still have their assigned roles, and they all know what they're doing, and that's what helps out that team. So that's what I'm saying, that they need to assign their roles more carefully in order to get those wins.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Honestly,
what's your pick, Jerrick? Who do you get rid of and who do you bring in?
I couldn't say. I really couldn't say. I don't think they should trade. Honestly, I think they just need to work together more. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea to start making all these trades.
This team is still fairly new, and also eSports has been known to just trade off players frequently
all the time.
So, well, not nowadays, because nowadays we have contracts for that reason.
Oh yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that these guys have all rotated so fast that I think they basically all know each other well enough to be able to play with whoever is thrown at them. So that's my opinion, and I think that they just need to trade in one more person to get that objective done.
All right,
and go for that win.
I'm assuming, Marc, you don't have a get rid of, bring in.
No, I don't. But
all right. So here's mine though. You ready? And keep in mind, I have a reason for this. Going into champs, one of the strongest teams that there are is FaZe Red / FaZe Mint is what they're calling themselves. And that consists of the team that we saw today, that FaZe. Enable, Parasite, Aches, Slasher. Now that being said, we have two people battling all the time to see who's going to be in-game leader between Parasite and Aches, right? And when has Parasite ever stayed on a team?
Never.
True. So then we have teams such as FaZe Black coming out.
Okay, he might have played for one team for one time and then left. But there was another team that he stayed for a long time. What was it?
Yeah. He stayed with Freako Impact.
Yeah. But
he played for Prophecy too.
What is Freako doing?
Freako is actually trying to pick up teams, but they're mainly on the European circuit nowadays.
Okay.
So, All right, so back to what I was saying was this though. Usually, teams such as FaZe, I mean, it's nice to have 2 teams, but it's hard to finance, right? So,
Well, not for a team like FaZe with that really huge fan base.
Yeah,
Mark.
Huge fan base, great sponsors. G Fuel is a big pusher on
I mean,
FaZe.
yeah,
FaZe Jerrick.
We have 95 of their fan base.
Yeah.
95% of the fan base right there in that camera.
all right. I mean, he is that big though.
Oh,
You're gonna roast me on stream? Oh my gosh.
All right, but what I was gonna say is,
We
this,
love you,
hey, I don't want to hear it. KFC.
I
Yeah,
I
you
believe.
little bitch.
Here's what I believe. I think that FaZe Black after season 2, if they can get into the relegation tournament, I believe they'll pick up FaZe Black as their main team, which consists of Censor, Apathy, Proofy, and who's the last one? Kind of drawing a blank here.
Mark. Who's the last
Who's
one?
the last one? Yeah, I know.
What?
FaZe Black, Censor, Proofy, Apathy, and who else?
Is it Enable?
No, it's
I don't know.
Mochilla. Mochilla.
Can you say it? I'll look it up now.
I believe it's Mochilla.
It is Mochila.
Yeah.
So because it's like half Justice, half FaZe. All right,
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I believe that they'll pick up FaZe Black as their main team.
Yep.
And
FaZe
then-
Black is Slasher, Parasite, Enable. Yeah.
No, that would be
Xfinity.
different. Because Proofy's on FaZe Black.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, FaZe Black, Censor, Pathy, Study, Poofy.
Study.
Yeah, Study. Then
All right.
FaZe, Yeah.
All right, so
I thought Mochilla was
Here's
on
what I-
Justice. But Justice got disqualified.
I think
Why did they get this?
Mochilla went to Prophecy. That's right.
He's on Prophecy.
What happened?
No,
What happened?
he's on the COD team for Justice is gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What happened? Sorry, I didn't hear
Look
about
up.
this.
Something about trying to recover accounts and stuff like that, and I guess it went against what they were.
Half their team went
Yeah.
to Prophecy. The other half went to FaZe Black. So that being said, let me get to my point here. I believe you're gonna have crashing heads between Aches and Parasite. Yeah, we already have it. We've already seen it.
Mm.
So I believe that Aches being the guy he is and being such an in-game leader, and Marc looking for someone, I think that they'd be willing to get rid of Nameless and bring in Aches.
Where would Nameless go?
To FaZe.
No, well, yeah, he'd go to FaZe, but I think they put him on a sub. Honestly,
Yeah. But I mean, he'd be in FaZe. I'd agree with that. I'd see that happening.
especially because if you have Parasite and Aches butting heads all the time, where's that gonna get you?
Yeah, that's gonna lead the team to it's gonna split up, and it's just not end well. And I think Aches would actually help out a lot in for Envy. He could actually be more of the leader role and just tell them what to do and help them out.
Slap some sense in him.
Yeah.
You always gotta do that.
All right, so now that we're kind of onto it already, let's move on to COD Champs while we're at it.
Ooh, I wanted to go.
All right, do you want to take a commercial break real quick?
Not right now. Keep on going.
All right. Basically, that means Fat Boy can't find a commercial.
Yeah, I was trying to find something, but
All right, so
It better not be KFC. Look at my face.
It says I want KLC.
what if it's Kool-Aid?
I will fucking end your life.
that's
You do not like Kool-Aid? Who doesn't like Kool-Aid? I love Kool-Aid.
yeah.
Drink G Fuel.
Okay, why are we on this topic?
All right,
Gosh.
let's move on to COD Champs. Ready? So,
COD Champs.
Let's kick it off with the Australian scene.
Sure, you could talk about that because I do not follow the Australian team.
I don't fucking know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Me
don't
neither.
either, like,
You're just fucking crazy. What the
Yeah,
hell?
See, Stream, this is why we have somebody like Chris to do all the work for us.
well, he's an intel right there. Like,
You see, that's the difference between me and you guys. Like, I'm awful with the computer. You guys are a lot better than us. So you guys get that part. I get this part. Fair trade. All right, so
And that's why we love you.
that and I have nothing better to do on a Saturday morning. So,
cartoons, man. 7 in the morning cartoons. All right, yeah. Sorry, go.
All right, so returning from, we have 3 teams coming from Australia. I can't tell you about one except for one's kind of a friend with a few Americans, but I mean, so he's not really. But here's what the main story coming out of Australia is. We have T1 and Platronics Mind Freak. Now, T1 is a team that's upset a bunch of American teams last year. No one saw them coming. People even told guys like Benson, Mr. X, listen, there's a team coming out from Australia that if you're not watching out for, they're going to come and beat you. Everyone blew them off. That being said, they made top 8 last year. They're called T1. Now,
yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. We've gotten word from Australia that, hey, listen, they're not as strong.
Down under, Mike.
Especially because they dropped one of their players. And to pick up a new guy who's been kind of coming up on the 1v1s. So, after not so satisfactory year, they come in to the qualifier. They end up placing second after getting dropped down to the losers bracket, come up, make their way in. Now, they lost twice to this team called Platronics Mind Freak. Here's the thing about them. The player that they dropped to pick up the guy for 1v1s is now the captain of Platronic Mind Freaks.
Interesting.
And I watched this game footage, and it wasn't even close, guys. The hard point, well, let's just say welcome to the 50-point club.
Oh, really?
Yes. T1 versus Mind Freak. Mind Freak kept them below 50 points in the hard point.
That is crazy. That says a lot about a team.
And it also says a lot about the one guy, though, because he was so determined to beat that team that dropped him. And, I mean, they did it. That being said, though, they're not as strong. The Australians are expected to do top 16 at best, depending on what draws they get. And if they get put in the same pool as Optic or TK or FaZe, it's not going to end well.
Oh, no. Especially not against TK.